Hey guys, I got another knife review for you today. Just got another Boker. This is a Boker Plus knife, and I gotta say I'm really excited about it. This is a pretty, tough knife to come by. They don't stay in stock too long. I bought mine from Knife 8 or Blade HQ, and it seems like as soon as they get these in, they keep going right back out. So this is the Albatros. Just wanted to show you the packaging it comes in. It comes with a nice magnetic latch box, and then you have your warranty, some information, then you have the knife. Really nice. So let's put this aside for a second. I want to show you one neat little thing they did include. They included a tool here to actually remove the thumb stud, and I didn't know exactly, I didn't see many people explaining what this tool was for in other videos I've seen, but actually if you read this card, it talks about the different legal issues that people have in various countries, where in some countries you're not allowed to have a knife that can lock and open with one hand. So in this case, what you can do is you can remove the thumb stud, and then obviously you can't open it one-handed. So they did that to bypass some legal concerns, so that people in countries that don't allow one-handed opening knives can actually have this knife. So that's pretty cool. And you can also use it to adjust the pivot. It's got two. It's got a smaller size here and a larger size here that'll fit the pivot screw. So that's pretty neat. Okay, put that aside. Now get back to the knife. So as I said, this is the Boker Albatros. It's a very nice stout heavy-duty blade. It's got a 5mm thick VG10 blade stock, so it's an extremely thick, heavy-duty, solid folder. It's got 3.6mm thick titanium handle scales, so it's got some nice quality material. You got the titanium, you got the VG10, and it's just an all-around solid, really heavy-duty utility knife in my view. I wouldn't classify this as a tactical or defensive knife, just because it lacks a tip, but in the utility realm, this would be an awesome knife. So let me go over some of the specifications real quick. You have an overall length here of 6.375 inches, and you have a blade length of 2.5 inches, so it's a pretty small blade, but it's really tall and thick, as I said. So as I said, the blade steel is VG10. Don't know if you can see that down there. And then you also down here have the serial number of the knife. So this one is number 462. It's got a closed length of 3.8 inches. I like the closed profile. It just looks really robust, and it looks like almost looks like a tank. It's a really sweet looking knife in the open and closed position. It's got a weight of 6 ounces, so it's a pretty hefty knife, but that's mainly because of the thickness of the blade, which is fine by me. I mean, I don't mind having a heavier knife as long as you're getting something in return, and in return you're getting a really heavy-duty quality steel blade and some nice quality handle material. This is a frame lock, so the frame engages the tang here on the bottom to lock it up, and then to release the lock you depress the frame there, and it will close back up. It's got a really tight detent, as I'm sure you've seen in other videos on this knife. But you know what? As tight as it is, when you want to open it up, it's still super smooth. You can overcome that detent very nicely, and then it's got kind of a second detent when you open it up, right about right there. It's got a second little hiccup, but because of the weight of the blade, when you fling it out, it just, the weight of the blade, the momentum of the blade just carries right through that second detent. So I was very happy with this knife in particular that I got, this specific one, because there's absolutely no blade play whatsoever, and the lock bar is very smooth. It doesn't always stick that badly. It locks up nice and early, you can see there, and it's an extremely solid lockup. Another nice thing, like with my Anso 67, the Boker version of it, if you just open the blade manually like that, and the lock doesn't, you know, engage far enough, they'll have some blade play. But this, whether I just open it up real soft manually or fling it out, it still engages the same amount, and there's no stiffness to overcome if I fling it out compared to just softly opening it manually, and there's no blade play either way, so it's pretty nice. Just wanted to do a quick comparison to the Anso 67 Boker. You can see the size comparison here. So you can see this is quite a bit larger, but you can see how much thinner top to bottom it is than the Albatros. I also wanted to compare the blade thickness of these two knives. You can see how much thicker it is than the 67, and if you have a 67, you know that it's a pretty thick blade. I don't know the exact specifications on it, but I'd say it's probably about, I don't know, 3.5, 4 millimeters, and the Albatros really just looks so much larger, so much thicker than the blade on this knife. So just a quick comparison of the thickness there. Anyways, back to this knife here. So this is, as I said, this knife is very solidly built. There's no mechanical issues with it. The lockup is perfect. The blade centering is also perfect. See there? Absolutely perfect. And that's, you know, pretty good considering it's a China-made knife, which, by the way, there is no marking on the knife at all showing China, so that's an added plus. You don't want that on your knife. But the only problem I can see is, I don't know how well you're going to be able to pick this up, but the ridges of the handles here, you can see some pretty heavy machine marking, either from, I don't know what they use to cut these slabs out, a water jet or some other kind of machine, but you can see the markings all along the ribs, or the ridge of the handle here, and also on the blade tang you can see it pretty heavily as well. I'll show you. Again, I don't know if you can see that, but there's some aesthetic pieces of this knife that they could really have done a better job, like sanding off the machine markings and whatnot. But I mean, other than that, mechanically it's a great knife. Also, it's got a stone wash over the entire blade, so that makes it a very cool finish. And that's pretty much it. I really like this knife. I'm glad I got it. You can get it for about $99, I think $99.95 at Blade HQ. They just went out of stock again, but they should have them back in stock soon, I imagine. Alright, thank you for watching. Again, this was the Boker Albatros, and please like the video and subscribe.